Greetings, my dear friends. I am now officially in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Ahern Hotel. It's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love it. It's very, very new. And I'm all settled in, which is really nice because a 4-day drive, takes a little bit out of you, even when you're taking things easy the way I am. So again, to everybody who supported this trip, again, thank you so very much. I've got my Keep on Trumpin' shirt to wear around the event, usadevolution.com. So you got to check that out. Second, I'm going to be seeing all of you who are here with me very soon. I just settled in. So Patel Patriot, JB White, Mermaid Miss K, St. Richie's not here yet. Matthew Trump's not here yet. St. Richie and Matthew Trump will be the ones coming in later. But we're going to have ourselves a great old time. The event is starting to set up even as we speak. I'm very much looking forward to everybody starting to trickle in. So thank you very much. And General Flynn just posted something that I feel compelled to go ahead and just pop on this stream. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show that video. For those of you who haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would. In the meantime, please check this video out. It's muy importante, posted by Patrick Byrne. Let me just pull it up real quick, and I'm going to play it. And then I'm going to gather my stuff together and kind of canoodle a little bit with JB and Patel, who are both here, and figure out exactly what we want to do as far as broadcasting is concerned. And without further ado, here is the video from Stu Peters interviewing an anonymous nurse. If you can, please share this particular stream. I think it's important. Thank you very much.
Lied to about COVID patients filling the hospitals. We are now being told that Delta patients are filling the hospitals. We wanted to find out if that is true. I am joined right now by an anonymous nurse whistleblower. She's currently working at a hospital and has been since the beginning of the COVID-19, quote, pandemic that originated from Wuhan, China, we now know funded by Tony Fauci. She wishes to remain anonymous. We're going to call her Sarah for now. Sarah, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate your bravery.
Absolutely.
So from the beginning, we have been told hospitals were overrun. They were at their breaking point. There was an influx of patients. They could not be sustained. The hospitals were overrun with COVID patients that were sick and dying. Has that ever been true?
No, that has not been true. It is the overflow we have had mostly has been since the vaccination rollout, where we've had patients, periods of time where we've had overflow into the emergency rooms, but it was not ever COVID, specifically respiratory COVID.
Okay, so at your facility, what has been the protocol for somebody that comes in presenting with this group of symptoms referred to as COVID-19?
They get a PCR test, and if they're negative, they're put on the main floor. And if they're positive, they typically go straight to the isolation COVID ICU, depending on the level of symptoms. So it's all basically based on that one particular test.
And have you worked in this COVID ICU?
Yes.
Okay. Have you heard about the PCR test and the failure surrounding that?
No, and that is the sad thing. In the hospital, everyone takes that test as gospel. So if you get a positive test, no matter what your symptoms, even asymptomatic, you're already on the COVID track, going to the area where isolated, gown, gloves. Your level of care is completely different. Even if you have, it doesn't matter if you have respiratory symptoms or not. That's the thing.
So, in other words, somebody who doesn't have COVID-19 could be put into this COVID ICU with COVID-infected patients.
Exactly. They get a completely different level of care.
And then what is the protocol for those people?
Well, they're basically, depending on the oxygen saturations for whatever, it could be pneumonia, it could be other respiratory issues. The COVID ICU is basically a floor where everyone is isolated, gown, gloves, the minimal access to staff, no visitors. It's completely different than.
Are they getting remdesivir? Are they getting put on ventilators? Is that kind of what the standard thing? I mean, this is what we have been told, is that they're slammed with remdesivir and put on a ventilator.
Basically, yes. The standard care is remdesivir.
And of those patients that go on remdesivir and ventilators, do the majority of them die, or do the majority of them survive and recover?
Most of them do not do well. A lot of them do pass away. Remdesivir itself has caused kidney issues, heart issues. Those patients typically do not do well.
Wow. So the things that have been reported on this program are that remdesivir was a dangerous drug. Anthony Fauci knew that. The CDC, the NIH, those that are dictating protocol to hospitals are very aware that remdesivir causes kidney issues, sends fluid to the lungs, the ventilator then explodes the lungs. People are drowning, essentially. And you have seen this firsthand.
Yes, absolutely. This has been the standard medication since the beginning. Over the summer, there was a period. Originally, it was all remdesivir. There was a period over the summer, actually, when our COVID numbers were low and almost gone, where remdesivir was combined with ivermectin. Now that is phasing out, and it's going back to completely just remdesivir by itself. So there was a period where it was a combination of the two with some patients.
So the ivermectin treated patients, did they seem to do better than those not treated with ivermectin?
Yes. In my experience with the patients that I have seen, yes. Remdesivir alone, they don't tend to do well. They tend to have cardiac issues during their hospital stay that they didn't have before, or ones that they had before are exasperated by the remdesivir. A lot of kidney issues. Many patients go on dialysis that were not on dialysis before. The symptoms the other issues that go along with this are not good.
So are doctors or providers allowed to prescribe remdesivir or ivermectin? Are doctors allowed to administer ivermectin to patients any longer?
I don't know of any restrictions or not restrictions. There was a brief period of time where I started seeing it with remdesivir, and now that's phasing out. I'm not seeing it very often at all. So I don't know what the doctors are told, whether or not they can, but it was just a brief time where I saw it combined.
All right. We're told that the Delta variant is very dangerous. The Delta variant is flooding the hospitals. Now there are a bunch of sick people in the hospital because of the Delta variant. So a very specific question. In your hospital, is there a test for the Delta variant?
Absolutely not. And in fact, there is no word or mention of the word Delta variant in any note from any doctor, from any outside office feeding in, specialist, urgent care, emergency room. I have not seen the word Delta variant in any chart. The only place I have seen the word Delta variant is in the letters going out from the hospital administration to the staff, quoting reasons why they should get the vaccinations.
But no patient has been diagnosed with the Delta variant?
No.
None?
COVID-19.
Okay. So
it's all termed COVID-19. There's no test for Delta variant that I'm aware of.
Okay. So we can assume that the Delta variant is being labeled COVID-19. That's fine.
Correct.
And every variant from here on out will just be labeled COVID-19. But the media is telling us...
nothing changed from before Delta variant came out, and now in the charts or in the patient symptoms or anything, nothing changed. There's no exacerbation once they started using the term Delta variant. Those patients have not changed at all.
What about the number of sick people? Have the number of sick people changed?
No.
Okay. So have you seen an influx of patients recently?
No. The influx I have seen is since the vaccination rollout, and it's more vaccination-related injuries, blood clots, cardiac issues, neurological issues, balance issues, cognitive issues, aggressive behavior, encephalopathy, things like that are very different from the previous COVID.
So the patients that are in your hospital under your care right now, the majority of them are in fact not COVID patients, but they are vaccine injured people?
Yes. Yes.
Do the providers report these adverse events, these vaccine injuries, to the vaccine adverse event reporting system?
I have not seen one instance where they have. In fact, when staff approaches doctors about this, whether it's noticed by the staff or noticed by the patient's family, they're completely dismissed. I have not had one doctor acknowledge anything I have said when a patient's family or I've noticed that it's been around the time of vaccination. They're completely dismissed.
Mentioning a vaccine injury to a doctor is falling on deaf ears. They don't want to hear it. You're not allowed to talk about that.
They will not acknowledge. They will actually stop you mid-sentence. I mean, it is completely blatant.
Okay. So this is all blowing my mind. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to take all of this in. We suspected it is, but it isn't at the same time, because we have suspected this all along. So would you articulate that the cases being labeled COVID-19 and then by the media translated into new Delta surge, that those patients are actually patients that are presenting with symptoms from this vaccine, these shots?
Absolutely. The staff that's aware, because now it's kind of, you know which staff is aware of what's going on or acknowledging it and which staff doesn't. We almost label it. The Delta variant is the vaccine injuries. That's what it is. It's common knowledge around the staff that is aware of what's going on or paying attention or not in denial.
And the people that are bringing this to the attention of the doctors, it's falling on deaf ears. They're cut off mid-sentence. How many people that you work with, would you guess, percentage-wise, are going to refuse this shot?
So far, about 50%.
And are they going to be terminated?
When the mandates come to our facility, yes. As far as I'm aware.
So up to half of the people that work at your facility could be gone, and the only people that will suffer are those that need care. The only people that will suffer, I mean, other than you, of course, if you're fired because you have a religious or a medical exemption, none of that matters, is what we're hearing consistently across the country. What is the one thing that you think is most important that the public is being lied to? Would you consider it to be the vaccine injuries? The floor is yours. I mean, just tell the world right now what the reality is from a frontline worker who has dealt with COVID patients from the beginning and still deal with this media craze, and you're seeing the truth firsthand. What do you want the entire world to know?
I want the world to stop watching the news. It is absolutely false. It is creating a false fear. I would go through COVID, the actual initial part of this, 10 times over easily compared to what I have seen with this vaccine rollout. The injuries and the loss of life and the loss of function. People are walking into the hospital with breathing issues, and a lot of these people are not going out. They're not leaving. People with normal levels of life that were actually caregivers to their family are coming in, and they're changed forever, and their family is now taking care of them. This is horrific. This vaccine rollout is a nightmare, and the media is completely not telling the public any truth to what is actually going on with these vaccines.
Are the doctors pushing this vaccine on the patients that are there?
Yes, and what's sad is the doctors are very aware of the effects of these. They can't not see them. If staff like myself are aware, and we have nowhere near the level of education as these doctors and specialists, and they're pushing these on, it's and when you question them, you're shut down. It's a nightmare.
Why do you think that is? Do you think that these doctors are being paid? Are they being threatened? Where is this protocol coming from?
We have no idea. We just know it is an unwritten rule. You can't talk about it, and they are pushing it at levels I've never seen, and the administration is pushing it on the staff. It doesn't. None of this makes sense. Why you knowing the results of these, and the staff that's awake, we see. None of us are going to take these. We see what it's doing to patients. We're helpless. So
doctors swear what we know as a Hippocratic oath, to where when they enter the patient's home, they serve only the patient. So if prior to this entire pandemic, if somebody were to come into your hospital, broken leg, heart attack, stroke, kidney failure, liver disease, pancreas issues, whatever it is, the doctor would have treated them, found any way that they could possibly heal this person and make them better. When the coronavirus, COVID-19 first came here, we were under the presumption that care providers were looking for ways to treat these patients. Since the inception of this vaccine, these shots, it now seems that doctors not only are not performing or living up to their Hippocratic oath, but they're actually contradicting it blatantly right out in the wide open and actually acting in a way that hurts or kills patients.
Yes, I no longer trust doctors' care. I'm there for the patient, and I'm literally having to point out to some of these patients that these vaccines are the reason why in there. Some of these patients have come in after only one dose, and they're being talked into getting the second one when they leave the hospital. I mean, it's insane. I have to tell these patients, do not get the second dose.
Well, I'm thankful that you're doing that. And I know that the families of these people that are very vulnerable, I mean, they're in the hospital begging for help, being isolated away from their families, no contact, no advocates, being denied the right to try, being denied the treatment that they're requesting, and basically given a death sentence. This looks like murder for money to me. I really appreciate your bravery, and I know the reasons why you can't come forward, and I respect that. When this thing is all over, people like you will be on the right side of history.
All right, I wanted to make sure that everybody got to see that. Michael, General Flynn posted that. Hi, Baldylocks, nice to have you, and nice to have everybody as well. There's some other stuff I want to show you, but I think that the case is being made that these vaccines really are terrible, and I've been reluctant to come to that conclusion. Now, this is an anonymous nurse. We've seen many other nurses saying similar things. However, bear in mind, we would still like to do our own hands-on study of people who have actually gotten the shots. And remember, proving causality is not something that's easy to do at all. I believe that this nurse may be suffering from confirmation bias just like the rest of us are, but the remdesivir part, I don't think that is as difficult to figure out. I think we're pretty much realizing that the remdesivir is being used to get the death count up. And I don't want to flip out about it like I normally do. It's time for us to be a little cool-headed about this and realize that our medical system is pretty much going to have to be completely uprooted, reset, and the only thing that really needs to remain is going to be the infrastructure, because the doctors are so compromised that I think we need to kind of get them to start doing something else with their lives. I don't know, maybe they could become painters or something. I don't know. But the current crop of quote unquote medical professionals, they're going to have to stop practicing medicine after this war is over, once everybody becomes aware. And that just needs to be the end game here, not some kind of, let's punish them, let's hang them, etc. They just need to be asked, you're not allowed to touch patients anymore. Go find something else to do. You could invent an ice cream, a different new kind of ice cream. You could do all sorts of cool things. You could mow lawns. There are lots of things that these white coats can do with their lives. They can be productive members of society. They're just not allowed to keep killing people. They're going to have to stop doing that. Now, Richard Rohrer sent me something that I want to bring to your attention as well. This is another 7 minutes. So I apologize for just cranking out these videos, but I need to get this in front of you. Are med beds real? I want you to take this for what it's worth, okay? Because this is yet another case of use discernment, but it needs to be put in front of you. 7 minutes of your time. I shall be playing this immediately. And bear with me, my friends. Are med beds real? Thank you, hat tip to Richard Rohrer.
Well, there was a program I was involved with where they were using a special type of Teslatron unit where we would take a watch in with us in this small hexagon room and spend, supposedly 55 minutes in there. It actually detoxes you and teletransports toxins out of your body. Sometimes people lose up to 15 pounds in these trips that they go in there.
In one sitting?
In one sitting, in 55 minutes. And I always ask, well, where does that go? Because I still have the same hydration when they did the blood test, and I'm not dehydrated, but yet all the horrible negative ionic bacteria, viruses, and metals in my body were taken out. So people that are really toxic that go in there really a lot of
They come back healthy.
Right, they come back very healthy. It's used to treat cancers for the elites of the world, even our presidents.
What's the machine look like, Emory?
It's a hexagon room, and inside the hexagon room is a glass wall. The hexagon room is only about 8 feet in diameter, so you know. So it can only fit a small massage table that's in there. And 3 feet beyond the massage table is a 3-inch glass or plexiglass wall, and behind that is this giant Teslatron unit. And it amps up this amazing electromagnetic frequency where it rips time and space apart.
The looking glass shows probabilities, or has shown probabilities. The cube would react with the people present. So there was an alteration, if you will, over what you were seeing from it. It would actually spin out as a yellow disc out of the top of it, where the word yellow book originally came from. Actually, I used that to our advantage at the T9, because that, in fact, was present at the T9, and I projected certain information which caused a little upset during the meeting. But I was also allowed to show them probable outcomes. So, in fact, the yellow book, the cube, was used for that purpose. Shockingly, they happened to see themselves standing on the bones of their own families and things like that in the vision. They were handing this cube around from country to country to the elitists in the countries to look into their own future so that they could pick the best paths for themselves. And I'm happy to pass along the information. I'm honored to pass along the information that I understand that the yellow book is no longer accessible. I will say this to everybody, whomever took it, it's in safe hands and it won't be used to harm humanity.
Are we able to know how many man-made stargates there were on the planet?
No, I'm not going to comment as to the total. I will say that there was over 50.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. In different countries of the world?
Yes.
Okay, and these are man-made?
Yes.
Okay, so, and natural stargates?
Well, see, it's not a stargate. It's a device which accesses.
Okay.
Which accesses a portal, a wormhole,
Does it
or
access a natural, in other words, the man-made device accesses a natural stargate?
It draws off from a natural ERB, an Einstein-Rosen bridge.
Okay.
It accesses it and somehow works, from what I understand, not in parallel, but almost like piggybacks on the energy of the natural stargate. Yeah.
Okay. So, in other words, if there were 50 man-made devices accessing, they would be accessing a corresponding 50 natural energy vortexes.
That I don't know. There's a possibility, in fact, that when the looking glass was operated, they were usually worked in tandem. It required a second looking glass to be turned on at the same time to get acoustics through. So unless a second one was turned on, which was operated at one of the places where Will Uhouse had been, he saw the second node location as opposed to the first node being over at the Papoose facility. Two pieces of equipment, 2 looking glasses, were required to be turned on at the same time to be able to hear acoustics or sound, if you will, from whatever the people were watching, but to go to piggyback in tandem with the visual response to the equipment. That it required 2 to be turned on to hear anything. And then both sides could hear the same thing. So I suppose both of the looking glasses being tuned to the same thing was accessing the same tunnel, if you will, to the information.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. Okay, so the looking glass has an ability to show one the future, but a stargate or equipment that accesses a stargate or wormhole is for time travel, right? We're talking about 2 different things.
Yes.
Are they using the same technology?
Essentially, yes. The original device was the Stargate device. That was then increased in power, if you will, with the use of these field posts. And how it pumped up the power, how it stabilized it, I don't know. You'd need to speak with a physicist about that.
Okay, and
however,
it increased it enough to where it became a looking glass?
Well,
had
no.
the abilities of a looking glass?
No. it would be pumped up in power to stabilize the doorway, if you will, to step through into another location,
Right.
which in essence, because distance and time are relative, the same thing, step two into another time. The looking glass device was a back engineered Stargate.
Okay.
So it was actually back engineered from the original cylinder seal data, which allowed us to produce the Stargate access devices, if you will, what we call the Stargates. It's a back engineered device, Looking Glass is. So Looking Glass is a secondary device, and it was coming into its fore in the 60s and 70s. And Will saw one of the first generations of it. From what I understand, very large piece of equipment. They always get small.
Sorry about that echo, guys. Long story short, I had the wrong mic set up. I had the native laptop set up. I think Patel might be coming down here in a second. Just let me tell him to knock on the door, and you can say hi. So anyway, I've set up an extra seat. So I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work out audio-wise, but it should be okay. So anyway, yeah, sorry about the echo at the beginning, but now I've got the Yeti microphone working again. Link for that video, please. I got the hookup for y'all. 1 second. Here is the link for that medbed video. Big hat tip to Richard Rohrer. Sailing Mom asks, how's Vegas? So far, fantastic. I just pulled up and got everything set up. By the way, guys, I'm going to be giving some of these Q coins to some of our very special contributors, as you may be aware. These are gorgeous. James MG at Verizon.net. James MG at Verizon.net to get yours. There it is. Keep charging, Midnight Riders. Godspeed, Patriots. Look at that gorgeousness. James MG at Verizon.net. You got to check that out. All right. So I don't know about things like D-dimer and med beds and blah, 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 blah. That's the kind of stuff that you guys end up educating me on. What I know is something's incredibly fucky about everything related to the medical industry. And that is being revealed even as we speak. So don't know what to tell you about none of that. So anyway, Iowa is not flat. That is, it's not true. Iowa's flat as hell, my friend. How you doing? Anyway, next, we got plenty of stuff to get through. Plenty. All right. Let's read a poem. Claude Bernardin. All right. Autumn by Claude W. Bernardin. Fall blows in like a muffler blown on a rusted truck. Wind and temperatures drop like bombs on the bitter fields and stones. I think of war, my grandfather's hunting shop, his old plaid wool shirts, some letters tucked way up in an attic trunk, late afternoon walks on dirt roads where history once held high tradition, where I can listen to the deeper whispers, the ghosts of their wisdom settling in. And he said, I am a soldier and take pride in that fact, but I am prouder, infinitely prouder, to be a father. A soldier destroys in order to build. The father only builds. He never destroys. The one has the potentiality of death. The other embodies creation and life. And while the hordes of death are mighty, the battalions of life are mightier still. I see his photograph of strength and wisdom. Like my grandfather, the weight of war darkening his eyes but sharpening his vision. The planes are flying, slipping through my night skies. The world's still turning, and liberty has not died. Time ticks on, but inside my heart, I am wound so tight. Soldiers, a better world shall emerge based on faith and understanding. But we must not give up the fight. Autumn by Claude Bernardin. Forwarding to Epic Jill. Thank you so much, my friend. All right, just got me a quick text. Oh, yeah. So Patel is going to be here in 5 minutes. We'll give him a red seat of honor. Hopefully you'll be able to hear him. I don't really know what kind of range this Yeti microphone has, so we're going to find out together. Peckerson says, what a lovely reading. Thank you. And more than that, thanks to Claude Bernardin for consistently cranking out amazing poetry. All right. Kimberly for Truth is correcting me. Iowa is not completely flat. I'm sorry, but forgive your first flaw, inexperience. I don't know, Kimberly for Truth. I've heard it's pretty freaking flat. All right. Maybe there's a hill somewhere in Iowa. I don't know. The only person I trust to tell me about Iowa is Chris Ranney. So Chris Ranney will have to tell me if I'm wrong about Iowa being flat. All right. Lori Bromberg, watching from Western Canada province of Alberta. Tell Patrick King I said hi. Patrick King is the patriot in Alberta who basically told the Alberta court and Alberta Health Department, hey, can you show me the SARS-CoV-2 virus, please? And they're like, no, we can't. We won't have it. Nobody has it. All right. James Farris asks, Patel? Is that Patel Patriot by chance? Yes, it is indeed Patel Patriot. So Mr. Vax222 says it's kind of flat. I don't know. I'm sorry. I got to go ahead and just ask Chris. Chris Ranney will tell me what I need to know. Find a surveyor's report at the courthouse. No, I don't do things like that. You think that I'm competent enough to find a surveyor's report at the courthouse? You overestimate me, Ellie Courageous. Great deer hunting in Iowa. Poor deer. They don't stand a chance against you, bro. All right. Let's see. What does Edward Swanson says? As someone from Illinois, Iowa isn't flat. Well, as a bald person from Texas, I say Iowa is flat. Right. The Kansas girl can tell you Iowa isn't flat, neither is Kansas. All right. So everybody's correcting me on this. And so, you know, maybe I'm just running my mouth when I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. All right. Let's see here. Let me just make sure that I'm not getting new texts. All right. We got it. Oh, JB is here. Ha ha. All right. So JB might end up coming in too. But basically, when will the med beds become public? Anyone know? I have no clue, Foxy Blue. I'm not even 100% sure that video wasn't a complete hoax, but hopefully they'll be available soon. I mean, we're going on the curve of the earth here or what? All right. So anyway, yeah, I hated driving through Iowa last week. Seemed flat forever. I'll tell you what, guys. The drive from New Mexico, you know, my negative experiences on the Indian reservations notwithstanding, the view is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, just a different level of beautiful. And as you get closer to Vegas, the mountains get more and more majestic, even as your technical level of elevation decreases. So I think we're somewhere around 2,000 feet of elevation here in Las Vegas, but the landscape is absolutely incredible. Bo Loria says, the new mandate on the kids has to stop. To me, they are sterilizing our kids. Everyone needs to stand up. I mean, standing up simply says, no, I'm not going to take your needle. I don't know what else to I don't know what to say. Bama Christie says that Kansas is flat as a fritter. I don't know how flat a fritter is, but I accept that. I accept your diagnosis of Kansas's planar nature. Only Western Kansas. All right. Let's see what else we got for all of y'all. I'm looking forward to this, guys. It's going to be fun. So just for fun, we have fake news rallies against Pima audit. So from Mark Fincham, week in and week out, I have written you and let you know when there is about to be a big breakthrough. And one of the telltale signs is when the media starts attacking what we're doing. They hope that by drowning everyone in the noise, people won't be able to hear the truth and the corruption around them. And that is exactly what is happening today. Trump is calling for a vote audit in another Arizona county, even after the first recount in Maricopa proved Biden won. Media lie number one. The media is telling everyone that Maricopa proved Biden won. It's absolutely fictitious, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so this is in the end, this is going to be a campaign email. Mark Fincham, make sure to vote for him in Arizona for Secretary of State, my friends. Okay. Let's see here. So this is from David Gentlecore. I'm going to download this. I'm going to share it with you. For those of you curious about the, let's see, DWAC, the DWAC IPO, or the Trump truth, media, blah, blah, blah. All right, so let's take a look, my friends. So open when done. Oh, this can't be. If this thing is going to automatically open in Internet Explorer, it's going to cause me to lose my mind. Whatever. All right, so I don't know why it's doing this to me. Hang on, let me try one more time. It should just download as a PDF. Sorry, guys. It's downloading as an Internet Explorer file. Wow, that's extremely cruel. All right, in any event, I'll go ahead and share it with you. See if I can make it work. All right. Chrome tab, not a Chrome tab, window. Fucking Internet Explorer. Blow it up. I hate Internet Explorer. I wish I could just make it so that Internet Explorer was deleted from my computer. It's just this big fat piece of bloatware. All right. It's just sitting there. Never mind. I'm not showing this thing. For some reason or another, it automatically insists that I use Internet Explorer to talk about this thing. All right. Let's see what happens. Chrome tab. Is it here? All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. All right, so let's check this out. So TD Ameritrade, David Gentlecore, hat tip, my friend, $45.50. Ah, that's $4.50. All right, guys, hang on. We have somebody at the door. This could be JB. This could be Patel. Not sure which one it is. Hey, what is up, my friend?
How you doing?
Nice to meet you in person.
As well. You got it set up here?
I do. I have everything all set up. Everybody, I would like to introduce in person. There's the webcam right there. First time ever in person, Patel Patriot and Patrick Gunnels. I set up this nice red seat for you if you want it.
Oh, sure. Oh, sweet.
All right. Yeah, we got the cute coins and everything. Just to let everybody know, Patel is probably about freaking 6'3". So I did not realize that about him.
6'2".
6'2". All right. It's just fun. All right. So here we are.
Awesome.
Hello. Can you hear Patel, guys?
How's everybody doing?
I'd have laughed. It was a group kidnapping. Everybody's saying hi. So right now I've got my Reading Epic Threads channel and everything set up. But this is an impromptu stream and everything.
Yeah.
So
This is so cool.
yeah, it really is.
Who else is coming that you know of?
Okay,
You said
so
JD.
JB is going to be here.
Okay.
The Rattler Gator.
Nice.
St. Richie's going to be here
Yep.
tonight at 10 p.m. And Matthew Trump is going to be showing up around 6 p.m. And then Mermaid Miss K. I don't know when Kristen's coming in exactly, but that's going to be soon. So have you been checking out any of the event? Because you came in last night.
Yeah, we had a speakers dinner last night. It was really nice. Got to meet like pretty much everybody. And the venue, if you haven't seen it yet,
They're working on it right now, right?
Yeah, we can go over there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
to do that.
I was in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, guys. I mean, I'm excited. A little nervous still about
Having to talk.
speaking, but yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't even know when I'm talking. They haven't told us.
They haven't given an itinerary or anything like that. What about the speakers they haven't revealed the names of yet? Do you have any?
No idea.
You have no knowledge of any of it.
No idea, except for that. I mean, the one guy that they announced.
107.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't heard anybody else yet.
For some reason or another, I heard somewhere in my chat that 107 was speaking right at that moment. I was like, what? None of the event has begun yet, guys. No. Nothing like that has happened. All that happened was that Patel had a speakers dinner to go to. You know what? Just for grins, let me go ahead and move this microphone. I'm not 100% sure how receptive it's going to be. If I can. Hang on, guys.
Florida, so I needed a day to recover.
Yeah.
So I knew I needed Thursday.
You drove. Okay, so this is the camera's right here. So there we go. JB is right here. Now JB drove all the way here from Florida
The picture, Patel.
in his.
Oh, you're not in the
They know what I look like. Anyway, so JB drove all the way from Florida in his electric car.
Yes.
Does it like self-drive or something?
No, it doesn't. It's going to get there. But hey, I was just pleased to test that there were charging stations all the way from Florida.
Yeah.
I was really concerned that I was going to get out there in the middle of nowhere, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Henrietta, I made it to Henrietta.
Yeah.
And but no issues. There were.
Please come take my seat. I've been sitting this entire time.
Yeah, we don't want anybody to start rumors about racist Patrick making the black man squat.
Oh, this is perfect. Look at that. All right.
No,
We're
you
gonna have to
gotta
get another chair.
you gotta elevate
We don't need
the
another chair.
elevate the camera.
Yeah. That's
Oh, you
fine.
good?
That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Elevate the camera just slightly because we're going to figure out how to do more.
Yeah, there's a couple spots I think that we can do some sweet streams from.
Yeah.
Can everybody
You check out the
can
Venmo.
everybody hear me?
Can we?
Yeah. Can you? Oh wait. Shit.
Did we mute?
No. We're good on hearing. I was muted for a second, but I fixed it.
Okay.
All right. Everything looks good. All right.
Okay. All right.
So this is going to be fun stuff, guys.
Yeah.
So I have this selfie stick that I can take and just kind of wave it around with my smartphone
Okay.
and take it to the event, and then figure out how to distribute some of those
Oh, you got
badass
the
Q
coins.
coins.
I think these will go well.
Oh yeah. And we still have absolutely no idea who the mystery speakers are. So
Well, it's a weird thing because originally I desperately wanted to come in part because I wanted to see General Flynn,
Mhm.
and then General Flynn dropped out, and it turns out he's up in Utah, at a similar event.
Mhm.
And I saw someone on Gab saying, Trump should be promoting rather than this new media, he should be promoting Gavin. No, we need a broad range of media outlets because there's a bunch of voices from real Americans that we need to allow expression.
Mhm.
And they've done a very good job of limiting and categorizing and caricaturing. And so we need a bunch of voices from a bunch of, because that's what America is.
very true.
That's a good one.
Have you seen the stock price of that DWAC company?
No, I've been here and it's like, okay, I've disengaged a little bit, but I've been fascinated. I saw you. You were the first one, I think, that pointed out to me that he was doing something.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh my goodness, what?
Yeah.
And I love the idea of it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean,
I love it.
well, and the fact that the price is going up so high, I think, was it Brian or somebody maybe had a post on that it's going to allow them to really, I mean, they could acquire some major assets.
I sure hope so. We have been under this tech tyranny
Yeah.
for what feels like
Yeah.
forever.
Love that shirt.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. USAdevolution.com. Promo code Shapiro. If you don't use promo code Shapiro, he doesn't ship. So just don't even think about not using the promo code.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Patel, have you had a chance to explore the Ahern a little bit?
Yeah, it's beautiful. The across the street, actually. So when you park,
Uh-huh.
either come into the hotel side or you go to the other side where the conference center is, and it's beautiful over there.
JB, your experience here so far?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't have any problems or issues. Well, I won't mention food, but
What about the food?
no, we will not address that. But it looks like everything is going to be good.
Yeah.
We may have a picky eater on our hands.
No. There's been none for me. So,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
anyway.
Interesting. Well, the speaker, or there's a dinner tonight. I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's the thing. Look, I got here early.
Yeah.
Okay, so really, I'm here before the conference
Mhm.
actually started, and
Sure.
and my interpretation of what was going to be what, is probably wrong.
Gotcha.
And so
Well, you texted me yesterday saying you were having dinner at 7.
that's what I thought. There was no dinner at 7.
That was the
That's my
speaker's
point.
dinner at 7 last night. That's what
Is
it was.
that right?
Just for the fancy people.
Yeah. And so I was talking to guys down there. They didn't know. They're just setting all like that. They just knew that there was some dinner.
Mhm.
So I said, okay. But I come down and I look, there's no dinner. And what the hell's going on? So did you go to did you get here last night?
Yeah, I got here yesterday actually around like noon.
Where was the dinner?
It was the second floor over at the conference center. So when you walk in down there where they're setting up, there's that big bar in the middle.
Yeah.
If you go up the stairs, they have a little restaurant up there. And I think tonight the whole dinner is like all going to be on that second level.
Okay.
I mean, it's beautiful over there. The
Yeah,
food-
very
food,
nice. Very nice. I sent pictures to my family. They were very complimentary.
Mhm.
You know, it's an interesting spot. I've driven around the little area. I've kind of, not disappointed.
Yeah.
Gambling taking place so far?
Not yet.
Negatory.
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing it either.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not much of a
No.
gambler.
You're going to want to stay off the Indian reservation gamblings as well. I'm just going to tell that to anybody who will listen. They have guards stationed every 50 feet, screeching at anybody who's not wearing a
Really?
mask at the Indian casinos.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, I drove in and I charged up in Henderson. And there is a little casino there next to the location, but I stopped at a little 7-Eleven just to take a leak. And this woman, I walk in and she's saying, sir, do you have a mask? It's like, I don't wear a mask. And she kept babbling and I just ignored her. I went and took my leak. He basically said, to hell with you with this stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I texted you and said, look, they've got a sign at the Ahern. Don't freak out.
Yeah,
no mask, no service.
Guys, that's one important thing. That the Ahern says no mask, no service. Not only are the people not wearing masks, the staff aren't wearing masks either. So the sign that says no mask, no service is like purely a virtue signal, or
I think the
compliance
city
thing.
requires it.
Yeah,
But
but
I think the city probably
they haven't
requires it.
enforced a single thing. I
Yeah,
haven't seen it
yeah.
anywhere.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank God.
it's been great.
Yeah, whew, that would have been a freaking nightmare. Because when I'm super far from home, I get less pugilistic with the authorities because I don't have the people bailing me out or whatever. But so I almost got in real trouble in Albuquerque. I was livid, and they were basically like, "Oh, you think you can intimidate us, white man? Fuck you, white man." Oh. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna
Oh, that's funny. No, but I think it's going to be a great event. It's like, it's very secluded. Everything is taking place here. Everybody's staying here. I mean, no outsiders.
So there's no, okay, so this is all 100% an Ahern event.
Yep. So everybody that's staying at the hotel rate, I mean, this whole event is for the event. There's no outsiders.
This is badass.
Yeah.
Well, I think, have you guys had lunch yet? Or
No, I'm hungry.
would anybody be interested in some lunch?
Yeah, we should go do something.
Rock and roll. All right, I'll go ahead and say goodbye to all of you wonderful people, but we will be checking in very frequently. So thank you to all of you who have contributed and supported us in all this, and we will be checking back in with you very shortly. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.